So, okay, let's do it. How is me Suppasit currently feeling? Hang on, wait a minute. Let me do this ritual thing again because okay. Okay, let's go. Me Suppasit, how are you feeling about Tulpacorn right now, please? Or I should say Goldie, how is me Suppasit feeling about Tulpacorn right now, Goldie? Can you tell us? I was just looking at myself laughing about that last move. Honestly, guys, I don't know, because I don't really believe in the, spiritual side of the cards. So doing things like cleansing the cards, this and all that, is kind of novel to me. I don't know if it actually does anything or not. Anyway, Goldie, how is me Suppasit feeling about Tulpacorn right now? How is me Suppasit feeling about Tulpacorn right now, if at all? Because if he's in Japan right now with somebody else, he might be completely, distracted. Whoa. Okay, that's too many cards there. But what have we got here? This is 3 cards here that have flipped over, so we'll take them. Okay, so what are the 3 cards we have here? So we have 6 of Wands, which happens to be related to fire. Public recognition, victory, progress, and self-confidence. This could be related to the sudden attention he's been getting because of the single title, perhaps. Financial loss, lack of mindset, loss, isolation, worry, need, poverty, and insecurity. That was the 5 of Pentacles. Sorry, guys, I forgot to say. And this happens to be an Earth card. So, thinking about Tul right now. He's thinking about public recognition he has with Tul. How it's caused him possible financial loss, isolation, insecurity. And this card, we have Ace of Pentacles. Abundance, manifestation, opportunity, new career or financial opportunity, new venture, prosperity. So he's still thinking towards Tul about money, clearly. This big coin here. It's like he sees Tul, he sees money. I think that's more or less what's happening here. And it's not in a selfish manner or anything. It's just because Tul is a businessman. Before they were anything, Mew appreciated that about Tul. I remember he was looking towards him for learning about, what's it called? Is it Bitcoin? Or something else? I'm thinking about that time he went to his house and his friend's house to learn more about business, basically, and bonded on that. And they're entrepreneurs, and Tul's sort of shown him the way, more or less, with the cafe, with the skin lab, because let's face it, Tul was already a businessman long time ago. Like, he had his own restaurant going back in the day. If you can recall a live Mew had where he was eating Tul's food, he was supporting his friend by eating the food that he sent him from his restaurant. So he already had that, and of course he's had the massage parlor going for years already. Before that, he was helping his sister with what's it called, Happy Cup, which is also a business that kind of bloomed at the time. So yeah, he's a businessman. So it's really not surprising that when Mew thinks of Tool, or when Mew sees Tool, he sees money. He sees financial opportunity, financial potential, what else? Prosperity, abundance, etc. That's what he sees when he sees Tool in regards to money. But at the same time, possibly these two cards, them going public, has cost him not just money, but possibly, you know, it says isolation. So yeah, it's cost him. Let's just say that. He feels it's cost him. His public recognition with Tool has cost him financial opportunities. If you read it in a line like that with these three cards, that's basically what it would say. Alright, and what about clarifiers for these cards? Let's get some clarifiers for these. So, am I right about this? What was it, 6? Yes, 6 of Wands. What was this 6 of Wands about? Public recognition of him and Tool. Public recognition about him and Tool. Is that what this 6 of Wands is about, little deck? Six of Wands, public recognition about Mew with Tool. Is that what this card is about? Whoa. Woman. Well, then, like I said to begin with, this could be more about the title of his new single. Public recognition, then, possibly. Possibly. Or if you think the woman is Tool and is simply, you know, pointing to significant other, it could be that too. But I don't get that vibe. And then we have 5 of Pentacles. What's this 5 of Pentacles about, please, little deck? What is he feeling left out in the cold about exactly? Was it about that his public recognition with Tool cost him? Or if the public recognition is about his new single title, is he feeling, like I said earlier, is he feeling a little bit distraught that everybody is going back to memories for that title instead of looking towards whatever he has in store with that new title? What's this, what is it? What's this 5 of Coins about, please, little deck? What's this 5 of Coins about? By the way, guys, I don't know how much this live is going to cost me in data. Oh! Heart. So he's feeling loss about love. Interesting. That's really interesting. Feeling lack of mindset, confusion, guys. Financial loss. I wouldn't say it's financial if the heart's involved. I would say it's more like lost feelings. This is also insecurity, so it could be, yeah, he's at a loss with his feelings, or he's been neglecting his feelings, possibly. That could even point to, since the recognition with Tool, possibly. Or he's been feeling at a loss since the new title came out as well. Could be that too. And what about this Ace of Pentacles? What's this Ace of Pentacles about, please? Is it really that he sees financial opportunity when he sees Tool? Is that what this card is about? Ace of Pentacles. What's this Ace of Pentacles about, please, little deck? Whoa. That one flipped in the deck. Lily. Mature, or maturity, wisdom, retirement. Could be that he still thinks that staying with Tool would be the wiser thing to do and would result in less drama, perhaps. Yeah, could be like that. Which I don't know if that's really true, because I think he hasn't had so much drama in his life before he started this thing with Tool, but he could be thinking it, you know, guys. This is all in his head, remember? So it's not necessarily what's actually happening. He could just be still thinking that the wise decision would be to stay with Tool, because based on the money factor alone, basically. Okay, let's move on, because I don't want to dwell on these two for too long. Let's see how Tool is feeling in comparison to that. Alright, so now let's get on with how Tool is feeling about Mew, right? That's where we're up to. So how is Tulpacorn feeling about Mew Suppasit right now? Possibly separated right now because Mew possibly is in Japan. Or if not, if he's already home, you know, what is Tool thinking? What is Tool thinking regarding me right now? Oh, okay. Well, that's one. Two more cards, please, Goldie. Two more cards. How is Tulpacorn thinking about golf? I was about to say golf. About Mew Suppasit right now. How is Tulpacorn feeling about Mew Suppasit right now? Please. Is he still feeling that Four of Wands like he was last month, or earlier this month actually, or was it? No, it wasn't, it was last month. Anyway, how is Tulpacorn feeling about Mew Suppasit right now, please, Goldie? Just ignore everything I say that doesn't relate, please. How is Tulpacorn feeling about Mew Suppasit right now? Does he still see himself getting married? I mean, the last interview said, seemed to point to more postponement. So what's he thinking right now regarding Mew? Does he still think they can have it all, but it may take more time, or he may need to do more convincing, or something else? What's happening? How is Tulpacorn feeling about Mew Suppasit right now? I'm going to start counting, Goldie, because I really don't want to spend too much longer on this. So, one, I'm just going to pull two cards too, guys, just so you know. 2, 3, oh, well, I can't pull all of those cards. So that one and that one. I'll keep these two aside in case we need clarifiers, okay? Okay, so what have we got? Alright. So the cards that we have for Tool about how he's feeling about Mew right now. Excuse me a minute guys, I'm going to shut the door. I'm feeling a bit chilly. Somebody didn't shut the door. Okay. Yeah, so how Tool is feeling about Mew. So the first card we got was the 10 of Pentacles. 10 coins. That's quite a bit of money, isn't it? In a sense, you know. Because that's the most coins you get in the card. So that's the full amount of money, sort of. And look at that, it happens to be a Virgo card. Very fitting. Okay, so 10 of Pentacles, we have wealth, financial security, family, long-term success, and contribution. So he's still thinking long-term with Mew, apparently. Second, we got 10 of Wands. Now, this is a Sagittarius card, interestingly. And 10 of Wands is burden, extra responsibility, hard work, completion. I wonder if that's related to golf, possibly. Like, it could be burden, making it hard for him, let's say. And lastly, we have Ace of Wands, which is a fire card. Nothing to do with Tool or Mew. Fire can only be related to, well, to golf, basically, because even the other person, you know, for those of you who are Max Tool fans, Max is Gemini, which is an air sign, so can't be him either. So yeah, okay, just a little bit of info there. So Ace of Wands, new project, inspiration, urge to create, willpower, desire, power, potential, beginnings, new opportunities, and growth. So I would say Tool still thinks, you know, give it time, and perhaps Mew will get over this thing with golf. Maybe that's what he's thinking. Or maybe he's thinking, you know, he has to give Mew the time to revisit that situation with golf. Maybe he believes he'll come back to him after things are sorted out with golf. Maybe he truly does think that, you know, they are the destined couple, so love will win in the end, and golf is just a karmic connection that needs to be, you know, cut, needs to be sorted out before they can move forward. More likely the other way around, but you know, this is what's in his mind. He has every right to believe what he thinks. But definitely it's interesting that the burden card here relates to Sagittarius. Okay. Do we need clarifiers for those cards? Are you curious what the other two cards here were? I am. Come on, let's just see. Let's see what they are. Okay, so we have 8 of Pentacles, diligence, passion, high standards, apprenticeship, mastery, skill development, repetitive tasks. So, at the beginning of all this with Mew and Tool, some of us thought that Tool was possibly feeling like the apprentice of Mew. Now, looking at things, you know, seeing that Tool is the more experienced one in the business industry, it could be the other way around, and perhaps Tool is thinking that too. That, you know, he can keep Mew being like an apprentice to him. He can master or develop skills about how to, what's the word? I can't think of the right word. I've got a particular word in mind, but I can't think of it. Not seduce, not convince, something a little more professional sounding, but I can't think of the word. But that's what he wants to do. He kind of wants to, I suppose, guide Mew towards what he thinks is the right path for him in life, let's say. This is also a Virgo card. So I really don't think he would think himself an apprentice to Mew, though, because, I mean, what's he teaching him? What's he teaching? What's Mew teaching him? Yeah, I'm not sure about that. And the other card, oh, look at that. Queen of Pentacles comes back, and again, Sagittarius, guys, and you know what, because that came second, that card, and the second card we got was Sagittarius, I'm going to say those two are linked together. So the possible burden he is feeling, it could be golf, it could very well be golf, but it could be a specific matter about golf, as in golf has more, he's more on the same mindset, on the same track as Mew when it comes to having kids. So, you know, if they were in competition, golf would win, basically, when it comes to the idea of having kids with Mew. Something like that. Maybe. Or if not, maybe it's maybe it's that providing financially, he's not doing as greatly as he could by being with Mew because of the burden of whatever there is to do with golf. Something like that. Alright, let's get some clarifiers. So what's this Ten of Pentacles about, please, little deck? Ten of Pentacles about. Is Tool really feeling secure about himself and Mew in the future financially? Perhaps, you know, even looking past the idea that they might stay together as a couple. If they don't, are they still going to stay business partners? Could it be something like that? Ten of Pentacles. What's this Ten of Pentacles about, please, little deck? Could it be that no matter what happens between him and Mew, he still sees them financially okay? Ten of Pentacles. What's this Ten of Pentacles all about, please, little deck? How is Tulpacorn feeling about Mew Suppasit right now with regards to this Ten of Pentacles? Tree. So this could be family, which also is on this card, family. So he could be thinking that their families have their back about this relationship staying intact. Could be that possibly not even Mew's family, but definitely his family is all about this. You know, if you go back to the idea that it's all about the status, it's all about the social classes, and he is more fitted to Mew than golf in their families' minds. It could be that even just that alone, because of the money side of things, will support them in the long run. Or it could be with the business in mind, it could be that he's set things in place that no matter what happens, even if they do end up parting ways as a couple, that their businesses will still be intact and things will be okay financially. It could be something like that. And what about this Ten of Wands, please, little deck? What's this Ten of Wands about? Is the burden golf? Is the burden the link Mew still has with golf? Is the burden that golf could be the better parent in Mew's mind? Whoa. Okay, so we've got two cards there. Since with two cards and I said they're linked, let's make those two cards that. So the first one I'll make for the Ten of Wands, which is house. And the second one I'll make for this card, which is Fox. Interesting. So, burden, hard work, completion, extra responsibility. This could be about, you know, the news that they were going to move into a house together, or that they actually already lived together. That could be what this is about. Keeping up appearances about that, because they're probably not. Could be that. And the fox in regards to providing financially, practical and working parent. Well, fox can mean work as well, so this could mean Tool still thinks work is more important than raising a family, perhaps. That could be what this card is saying, that work. To him, work is more important. Or it could mean that he's being very cautious about the matter, how he talks about it, how he lets me know what he feels about things. He could be still very, you know, clever and careful about that, so that, you know, you can't really make a clear decision based on that alone, sort of thing, maybe. So maybe, like we said in the last reading last month, that Tool might be dangling the idea of having kids in front of Mew, which could be causing a lot of confusion for Mew, because he thinks, oh wow, I could actually have all of it with Tool. Well, this could be about that. This could be that he's still being a bit tricky, a bit possibly deceptive with Mew about what could happen regarding having children in the future. Like, he's not showing his cards of what he really has planned in that regard, for example. And what about this Ace of Wands? What's this Ace of Wands about? I realise I've forgotten about this card, but it's alright, we'll get on to it. So what's this Ace of Wands about, please, little deck? Inspiration, urge to create, growth. Tool obviously feels inspired by Mew. He's said that from the beginning, long before they were a thing. So I know that already. We know that already. And he still feels that way towards me, obviously. But what's this really about? What is he being inspired to do right now? Is it business or is it more personal in this time frame? What's this Ace of Wands about, please? What is Tool thinking towards me right now regarding this Ace of Wands? Oh, well, that's an unexpected card. Scythe. So is it possible that Tool is already thinking beyond the possible breakup? Like I said, you know, thinking financially they'll be fine no matter what happens. The burden could be the house, because they said they were going to move in together, etc. Or this could be, or this could be family. The burden could be the family, because the family was all for them. And then suddenly there could be no them. Just back to friends, perhaps. And this is about making that change. Scythe can also be sudden change. Scythe can mean sudden change. So if we go back to this could be how it affects Tool when it all happens. So it could be that Tool, you know, being a Virgo and a Libra, or having both signs, they're meant to be very down-to-earth people and very perceptive. Like, they know something before anybody says anything, sort of idea. So he could know what's coming and he could be prepared for what's coming, but he may never admit it, for example. Which is comforting, really, to think that, you know, possibly whatever happens, if they do part ways in the future, perhaps he won't be as heartbroken as what we thought regarding previous readings. You know, perhaps they've already moved on emotionally, both of them, and, you know, they'll be able to come to a mutual agreement as friends, first and foremost, that, you know, it's better to stay just friends. Or, you know, business partners. They can stay business partners and still have the financial security there with two families, you know, being in business together. Something like that. And lastly, what about this Eight of Pentacles? What's this Eight of Pentacles card about, please, little deck? We really need to find out what that one's about, and then we can move on. So what's this Eight of Pentacles about, please, little deck? What's this Eight of Pentacles about? Diligence, passion, high standards, apprenticeship, mastery, skill development, repetitive tasks. Is this about after a possible parting, or is this about hanging in there for the long run and letting things take place, whatever's happening, this change, and hoping for better horizons in the future afterwards, something like that? Oh wow, okay, we got two cards. Ship and birds. Ship and birds. So, yep, this is about either moving on, the ship could be moving on, or it's about a trip. Maybe the travel vlogs. Maybe they're going to keep doing the travel vlogs even if they part ways in that way. Maybe they will still be doing travel vlogs together. That will be their thing as bros, which would be great. That would be awesome. That's what I hoped for when I first heard the channel was coming out. You know, travel vlogs with buddies, travel buddies. They will stay travel buddies. That's what that really says. Anyway, the birds too. Birds can be conversation, communication, can also be rumors and gossip. Staying diligent, passion, mastery, repetitive tasks. I wonder if this is all about the gossip and rumors that shippers. I wonder if it's about mastering his skills about handling the shippers, maybe something like that. Or this is thinking about Mew, isn't it? So it could be that he thinks Mew is doing that. Or if this is about Mew, it could be about him moving on and communicating about it too. Interesting. Some very interesting cards we got. Alright. So I think that's covered enough for now for what I can give you from a raw viewpoint. As always, I will go and do more research and add it to the final video when I upload it to YouTube. certainly been different to the last time we did a reading for those two anyway. It seems Mew has money in mind, and Tool too. They both have money and finance in mind first and foremost. And interestingly, a lot of the horoscopes readings that I've seen lately have been talking about a couple ending things based on financial security, financial decisions, etc. So, very interesting. All right. Go in there, will you? Just lift it up. It's easier that way. Oh gosh. Alright, so we'll do the other cards, the communication cards. Let me I'll just put these aside. I'll put them all away off camera later, but I do need to... Gosh, suddenly feels so cold suddenly. I swear it's getting colder instead of warmer as the morning comes anyway. Alright, so let's do the Oracle cards. So how is Mew Suppasit feeling about Tulpacorn right now, please? Now this deck I call Ebony. Little Ebony. And I call this one Ivory. Okay, so Little Ebony. How is Mew Suppasit feeling about Tulpacorn right now, please? How is Mew Suppasit feeling about Tulpacorn right now? How is Mew Suppasit feeling about Tulpacorn right now? Adding to what we already know from today's reading, he's obviously got money in mind, financial security, etc. But what else is he thinking? Please, little deck. Please, little Ebony. Has he got a clearer idea of what he wants to see happen in the future with him and Tool? Is it still marriage? Or from those other cards we just saw, is it possibly something else? Continuing as friends, perhaps. Staying travel buddies. Staying business partners. Minus the lovers aspect. How is Mew Suppasit talking? How is Mew Suppasit feeling about Tulpacorn right now? If at all. I'm going to start counting, Ebony. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, whoop, careful. Almost went on. 8. Okay. Interesting. So last month, Tool got this card in regards to how he was feeling towards Mew. Now Mew gets it to Tool, and that is cassette. Outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. Really sounds like they could be at the end of something. Alright, and two more cards possibly, please, Ebony. 2 more cards, please. 1 card isn't enough. We need 2 more cards, please, Ebony. So he's possibly thinking that their time is up, that their time is outdated, that he's outgrown this connection. That could be what this cassette means with Tool. So what else is he thinking? What's his next move? Or have they already talked about how to proceed from here on? Have they already talked about how to handle the shippers, how to handle the backlash they may get when the public recognition comes out of their parting ways, cancelling wedding, engagement, etc. What's going on? How is me Suppasit feeling about Tulpacorn? If that's all what this is, of course, you know. How is me Suppasit feeling about Tulpacorn right now? Little Ebony? Please, I need 2 more cards. I need 2 more cards. I'll start counting again and I'll just draw 2 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's draw 2 cards. The Dragonfly. Heart with a key. Interesting. Okay. So the Dragonfly. Be light-hearted, finding out, things coming to light. Adapt, change, heal. Definitely sounds like there's changes coming. And it sounds like it's not going to be what people think. Heart with a key. Welcoming love, meeting the one, open your heart, getting together, perfect. Interesting. So, with that card coming out, he could still be a bit confused though. Because he's thinking outdated, finding out things or things coming to light, adapting, change, healing, and welcoming love, meeting the one. Is he feeling this about Tool or golf? Or someone else? Who knows? I mean, I know this was about Tool, but with these 2 cards, this is very not matching. So I might get a clarify for that one, hey? What's this heart with a key about? Is this how he feels about Tool? Or is this how he feels after parting ways with Tool in that way? What's this heart with a key about, please, Ebony? I'd really appreciate it if you just let it drop this time. What's this heart with a key about, please, Ebony? How is me feeling towards Tulpacorn about this heart with a key? Is he still possibly thinking that Tool is the one? Whoa. Wow. Wow, 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 okay. I'm speechless. You all heard me, guys, right? What I said? Honestly, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. Honestly, when things like this happen in readings, how can we be blamed for thinking the way we think? Like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Well, that definitely tells me that this heart with a key, perhaps this is what he thought. Perhaps this is what he thought at some stage. Maybe when they first got together. But this is the clarifier card, guys. Can you read that? Honestly, reading this out loud, I don't know if I can. This is crazy. Alright, I'll do it. Okay, so for the clarification of a heart with a key, we got axe. Axe. Like scythe. Only this one's much more like, it's not a sharp decision, it's the end of something. It's cutting something. Axe means break up, separation, stop the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. That's kind of brutal, that card. Wow, and that came up for how Mew is feeling about Tool as a clarifier of the heart with the key. And what I said before that came out, I was saying, does he still think Tool is the one? That's the last thing I said, isn't it? Does he still think Tool is the one? And this came out. Okay, so let's get some clarifiers for these cards from our trusty little ivory deck here. Get some more words on the matter. So what's this cassette about, please, Ivory? How are you today, Ivory? Haven't seen you for a while. So how is Mew Suppasit feeling towards Tulpacorn right now with this cassette? Is he thinking that it's outdated? Is he thinking that their time has ended? That it's time to move on? So the cassette, the card that came out for that. So this would be, I would say this is what he thinks is outdated thinking. What is outdated thinking? What is the outdated thinking that he's referring to in regards to Tool? The future. I daydream about our future together, going on adventures and growing old together. I want it all. So in other words, that's not what he thinks anymore. That's old. That's old thinking. That's outdated thinking when he thinks about Tool. He no longer sees that with Tool. And what about this dragonfly? What's this dragonfly about? Please, Ivory, what's this dragonfly about? Dragonfly is lighthearted, finding out, things coming to light, adapt, change, heal. Is this about the big change happening this coming month for Mew? Is this about this and how he will heal after possibly separating from Tool? What's this dragonfly about? What's this dragonfly card about, please, little Ivory deck? How is he thinking about Tulpacorn in regards to this dragonfly? Whoa! That flashed. I didn't really see it, but should I take it or not? Let's take it. Okay, so the card we got is Spoiling You. I want to give you the good life. I want to spoil you with gifts and trips. Everything you could ever need or want, you deserve nothing less. For this coming out with the dragonfly, and with this card that we just had, I think possibly this means he wants Tool to be happy. He wants Tool to have a happy, good life. He wants to continue spoiling him or giving him gifts or being in his life, being a friend to him perhaps. And he knows that he deserves to be happy, but in the end, happiness may not be with him. That's what I'm getting from that card. And what about the heart with a key and axe card? So I'm pretty sure we can't mistake what these two cards are saying, but please, little Ivory, can you give us some clarification about what this heart with a key is about? And possibly the axe card as well. If you can give us both at once, that would be wonderful, but I won't hold my breath. We have one card. Let me get another card before I reveal that one. What about the axe? I'll say that one's for the heart with the keys. So what about the axe card? Ivory, what's the axe card about? Is it really about the possible big change being a breakup or a change of plan between the two? What's the axe card about, please, Ivory? Going to tell me? Do I need to start counting? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoop. Well, I saw that one, so we'll take it. Somehow I have a feeling we might need more clarifiers. Anyway, let's see. Okay, so which one did I put down first? I think that was the second one, so, okay. No, I know this one. This one came out for the axe, so, okay. So this one came out first. So remember what I said about this one was possibly what he thought at some point, that tool was the one, etc. So for that card we got Have My Kids. Have My Kids. We've had this card so many times, and you know, in a deck of 54 cards, it's just so mind-blowing, like the cards that seem to keep coming out. Anyway, we all know what this means. I don't think I really need to read it out, but I will anyway. Have my kids. I want to have a family with you. I know you'd be an amazing parent, and I dream of the day I can experience raising a family together. So again, outdated thinking could be this, just like we said in the future. The future card is the outdated thinking. So this is what he may have thought at one stage, like he really thought Tor was the one. He really wanted to have it all with him, a family, etc. But now he thinks it's time to make a change, and the card we got for that one is Obsessed. Now we tapped on this in the last reading as well, about being obsessed is not a healthy thing. So it could be that, it could be the obsession of what both him and Tul have sort of got themselves into with proving their relationship to people. They're obsessed about proving themselves true and right, etc. This could be, in the end, what breaks them, for example. Still, honestly, I said it, didn't I? I think we might need some more clarifiers for that card. So, when you saw, guys, right, that there were 3 cards actually that came out when this one came out. It didn't come out, but there were 2 other cards with this card that I could have turned over, and they happen to be the 2 sitting on top of the deck here right now. So I think I might just pull one, and then if we need more, I'll pull another. So I'll just do that, okay? Save a bit of time. So what's this one? Jealousy. I could not have predicted that any clearer. Like, really, jealousy. That has come through a lot lately, even in other horoscopes, that there is definitely a jealousy and obsession causing trouble. For some air couple, or air and other sign couple. So Aquarius and Libra, for example, or Aquarius and Virgo. Definitely having a lot of arguments, conflicts, etc. due to jealousy and obsession, just imbalance, basically, altogether. Let's just pull that last card, just in case it could shed some more info. Still listening. I listen to the music you've shared with me. It helps me to connect with you although we are apart. Well, that could be, since this is about the Axe card, you don't think the new single Lucky to Have You could be about Tool, but could be, you know, the way the shippers were talking about the wilted flowers. Could it be about Lucky to Have You, had a great time, this was wonderful, but we need to change things, or we need to move on in a different direction? Wow, that's making me wonder. Okay. Well, I think that's enough cards anyway for that. Anyway, that was shocking, wasn't it, guys? Yeah, anyway. Alright, let's move on. Put these back in the deck in a way that is not fixed, or that I can possibly know what cards I will pull next time, as always. Okay, that's ready for our other couple later. These cards, well, we haven't done Tool to Mew yet, have we? We better do that first, right? Whoops. Oh dear. Card went flying. Hang on, guys. Ugh. Let it go. Sitting in an awkward position. There we go. What card was that? Huh. Interesting. The card that went flying wasn't one we already had. It was Engagement Ring. I wonder if just the fact that that went flying, does that mean... I don't know. I'm just thinking. I'm thinking out loud here. Why would that engagement ring go flying out the window, so to speak, after the other cards we got? Alright. Oh, I can't put that there. I know that's there. There we go. Okay, so let's see what's happening in the mind of the other person involved. How is Tulpacorn feeling about New Suppasit right now? If this really is, you know, if they are really about to make a wise, mature decision to change things up between them, then how is Tul feeling towards me right now? Is it a mutual decision, or is he just prepared because he knows it's what Mew's going to do? We've got one card. I don't know what it is yet. I can't see it properly. 2 more cards, please, Ebony. Please. What do you know? The engagement card came out again. So perhaps Tul still thinks something about that. Alright. And 1 more card, please. 1 more card, please. One more card, please, Ebony. 1 more card. Oh, that's why the engagement card came out. Guys, the other card. That really explains why the engagement card came out. So are they really going to? Are they really going to call it all off, Ebony? Can we get another card, please? Please, give us another card. I mean, they postponed it till next year in winter, so... that's a lot of time to be on eggshells, be in a fragile state. What else is there? Come on, Ebony. Good. Whoop. What do we got? Photograph. Wow. Okay, again, guys, this is mind-blowing, honestly. So the first card that came out was Lightning. Sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, transformation. Changes. Change is coming. In particular, this is Golf's reading, isn't it? Mew didn't have a coffin, but more or less, you know, I think it still relates since he had it for last month. So there's an ending coming, or there's a big change coming, something that's really gonna throw everything up in the air. The second card that came out was Engagement Ring. Now remember I said, guys, this one went flying. This was the card that I went to collect, and I thought, why is it like it's being thrown out the window? Well, this card with this card together pretty much, yeah, something is going to change regarding the engagement. What can change regarding an engagement? Yeah. And then the third card really kind of cements that idea. Photograph. Looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, make new memories. With these three cards together, I really can't be led to think anything except that the engagement is going to be cancelled. And as we said, you know, the axe, there's a breakup or change or mutual agreement to part ways coming, and they're going to look back with a fondness of all the fun they had, you know, all the good memories they had, posing as a couple perhaps, because I don't think they would leave each other's lives entirely. I think, you know, not all people are capable of returning to being just friends, but I think Mew and Tool can. I think Mew and Tool can just be friends. I think they can, because they have that bro thing about them anyway. Like, even though they've been trying to be more, it just sort of comes through that that's what they are naturally together, like bros. So chances are that if they do, if all these cards are, you know, onto something and they really do decide to part ways, it would be in a very mature and mutual light, and they would do it on good terms. They would choose to be friends. Like many Waanjai that I've talked to, we've talked about the idea of how would Mew get out of this in the most best scenario for everybody. Most of the time we've said he would come forward to the media and say, look, we tried, it was great when they were overseas studying, but once they came back and we realized what it would really be like in reality to live together, to be that close, etc., we realized that there were more aspects that we were incompatible about, and something along those lines. So in other words, they would basically tell the media, look, we tried, but it didn't work out, so we've just agreed to part ways on good terms. We are still great friends, and we want people to respect that. Something like that. Something along those lines. So yeah, this is what we got. This is for Tool, how he's thinking about Mew. So while his tarot cards were saying he was thinking about money, perhaps he was, like I pointed out then, he was thinking about, you know, the aftermath. How are they going to fare financially with the aftermath of things? How are they going to deal with the family fallout, possibly, after things are decided? Things like that. Because there's definitely something happening here, guys. There's definitely something happening. And because it all points to a huge change, and this comes out, I mean, this is pretty obvious, you know, what the change is about then, isn't it? Anyway, we still haven't done clarifies for these cards, so let's put these back and I'll do some clarifiers. Let's get some more words about this. So what's this lightning card about, please, Ivory? Have Mew and Tool decided to mutually make a change together, or does he just sense that Mew is about to make his move away from him, so to speak? Okay, so the change, for the change card, for the lightning card, we got no one compares. So I would take this as, this is what has changed. They may have thought this at one stage, but now he is comparing someone, obviously. And he needs to make some changes because of that. Or he's looking at other options, in other words. He needs to look at his other options. Perhaps he's even thinking about someone else. Perhaps there's a third party in his subconscious that he's been thinking about lately, for example. Or maybe, you know, Tool being he had a crush on you from the start, supposedly. Maybe he's going to think back with a fondness to this whole connection, and he's going to think nobody compares no matter what. Could be that too. What about the engagement ring? Is the engagement ring what the big change is about? Is it a postponement of an engagement? Is it a cancelling of an engagement? Is it rushing to the altar even? I mean, that's a change, isn't it? That's a huge change. Forgetting about the engagement and just like going and eloping or something like that. What's this engagement ring about, please, Ivory? Oh, guys, I'm going to put a jacket on. I'm so cold right now. Funny, when I first came on and you asked me if I was cold, I told you it wasn't that cold. But now, oof, it's cold. All right. Whoa. Okay, that was not on purpose. You know what? I'll take that one. Engagement ring. Soon. Now that could be either the change to the engagement will be happening soon, or completion. This card also says completion, so that could also be happening soon. The completion of this engagement could be happening soon. It could mean that as well. Now what about photograph? What's this photograph card about? Is it about looking back with fondness on his time with Mew? Is that what this photograph card is about? Or is it about making new memories with Mew? Possibly in a different setting. After this big change. What's this photograph card about, please, Ivory? I'll have to start counting. Can you guys hear that? The kookaburras? Kookaburras early in the morning laughing. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so what's this photograph card about? Oh, wow. Jealousy. How's that? How's that? Oh. Oh, now I'm... Is he possibly jealous of all the memories that Mew has with golf? Is that what this card could be about? Like we spoke about how jealousy is one of the aspects that will have them breaking up. or possibly changing something between them? Could this be Tool has just had enough of constantly seeing Mew with golf on social media? Possibly. You know what? I think I better pull another card for that one. Jealousy, huh? So what else? What else could this photography card be about, Ivory? What else could this photography card be about? Please give us another card. This jealousy card really threw me off. I can't possibly, like, I was hoping for a happy mutual ending between them, but if he's jealous about that. Okay, so we have two cards here. What are they? Okay, wild side and you're so smart. Okay, that really does not make sense. But anyway, let's see. Photography or photograph. Looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, make new memories. Well, actually, now I think about it, it could be the title of his new song, his new single. He could be jealous that everybody's thinking about golf and the memory he has with golf about his first song, Lucky to Have You. He could also be thinking that Mew's very smart for how he's gained everybody's attention with that title. And wild side. There's a side to you I haven't seen and want to. I want to see you let loose and get wild. Let's have some fun. Wild. I'm not sure if I would call what he was with golf wild, to be honest. So I'm not sure what he's jealous about in that regard. But if he does think that he was wilder with golf than him, then, you know, it could be about how clingy they were. Could be about how good they look together in photographs. Yeah, it could be many things like that. Maybe it could be that he wants Mew to be as daring as he was with golf for possibly fan service with him in public. Maybe it's something like that. Whatever it is though, the first card that came out was jealousy. So that's interesting. That's thrown a bit of a spanner in the works of what I thought the message was. Could even be, if you look at this card as being the future, that he will be jealous. Maybe he will be jealous of what's to come. Even. You know what? I think I'll pull one more card because, gosh, I've never been so thrown off with cards before. These cards are hard to, and that doesn't help. Another card. We got Mother Wounds. Mother Wounds. My mother is a big influence on my behavior now as an adult. I have challenges with connecting to the divine feminine energy within me and externally. Oh, well, that could be going back again to what I said about like how Tull most likely is not the woman in this dynamic, and he has trouble trying to be, or even thinking about being, the more feminine one. So that could also be part of why it doesn't work for them in the end. And then that could be if he's jealous about photographs. It could be about how feminine golf looked with Mew. How wildly crazy it was when golf was with Mew, that, you know, his persona was so different to his usual. He became so gentle, so you're seeing that card, aren't you? You're Very feminine, very nurturing, very mother-like. Yeah, it could, and you played on that in the past with golf, so maybe that's what it's all about as well with the photograph aspect. Okay, I know you saw that card, so what is it? Will you listen? There's so many things I want to say to you, but will you hear me all the way out? Will you believe me? Well, this could also be tapping into like how we think they avoid the subject altogether of new golf. They probably haven't sat down and really talked about the true feelings, emotions, and actions involved in new golf. So yeah, so all this linked to photograph. Wow. Alright, so that was a lot of cards. Just sometimes it's really hard to grasp what the cards are trying to tell you. If you guys could make any more sense of that than I did, please, by all means share what you thought when you saw those cards, because that kind of threw me for a while there. Okay, and these ones, thank you so much for your service today, Ebony. We'll put you away for the day now.